All right, welcome to Iconic Motorbikes. I haven't done a shop walk for a few days because I was waiting for the bikes to change out a little bit. This bike is the VR1000 Harley-Davidson Pandora Box Edition. And what that means is every time we think we have it sorted, something else goes wrong. We had it all done up last week, if you were to watch some of our old videos. And Tom, the stuntman, and I took it for a spin this weekend. I was on the Desmo Suzuki, he was on this. About a quarter in the ride, she started bucking like a Bronco. She didn't like it. She was just not happy. So Steve's already done the oil pan gasket. He's done the cam position sensor. There's a reason why it wasn't taking the start button.
Now the throttle bodies.
The throttle bodies were dirty. We cleaned that. We just went through literally everything that could go wrong. We've done that. So anyway, turns out we found the last culprit. Ryan, check this out. So
I've got it all fixed up now. But
in all their infinite wisdom, there's this little harness here that goes through the fuse box.
it's all tucked up now. It used to come right down across here.
Yeah, so they had the fairing pressed against that. The way the fairing rests against this hits against the carbon fiber, and the downside of carbon fiber is it's conductive. So we had some power wires hitting there, and we think that's why everything was kind of going radical on the gauges. It was popping all over the place. It definitely did not want to run very well. But anyway, we'll let you know how that one goes. Let's move on. Thank you, Steve. Hey, I'd like this bike to go home eventually, by the way.
I just like it.
Yeah, I'm sure you
It
do.
makes a nice ornament for my lid.
And by the way, thank you, SB Racing. Ollie's over there supporting the team right now. He's rushing for him. Thank you very much. Love the shirt. Over here, this is Ollie's Bay. He is out with SB again, so that's why these same bikes sit here. This one's ready to go home. Josh put new slicks on it, right, Josh?
Yep, new slicks and just clean the rear brake.
So as when he was going on and putting new slicks on, he noticed a little bit of lack of pressure, I should say, on the rear brake. That's why it's all pulled apart. Making sure we take care of that before we send it to its new home. Pretty famous bike. It's gonna look beautiful right as a centerpiece in someone's living room, so I can't wait to see pictures of that. Also, over here in Josh's area, we have this RB50. This is the Gixxer 50. It's the 4-stroke, kind of YSR, their version of the YSR, but sorry to say it's not as cool as a YSR. YSR is a 2-stroke. We're big 2-stroke fans.
A little smaller too, surprisingly small.
Super nice condition though. These are not all the bolts for this bike.
That's me, that's my stash.
There you go. But anyway, so we found a little bit of a tank bubble on the paint, so we're gonna get that corrected, and the tank was a little rusty inside.
Yeah.
So we'll take care of that as well. But otherwise, this one will go up for sale soon. It's really a cool little bike. It's super original and quite sought after. Moving on. This Bimota is, what are we doing? Just tire swap?
Just best tires on it.
Yep. So this was, we've sold this bike actually twice since we've had Iconic Motorbikes. I sold to 2 different clients, 2 separate times. Typical Bimota, really cool trellis frame, all the beautiful billet material. If you don't know much about Bimota, they're just, they're a phenomenal company because what you get is typically, not in this case, you get the Japanese reliability and you get the Italian design. In this case, however, you've got a Ducati motor in a Italian design. So pretty much
Extra flair, less reliability.
there you go.
No.
But you know what?
They're a rad bike.
They're still great, and the older, the middle-aged, I should say, Ducati motors are still reliable as long as you stay on top of the belts. That seems to be the culprit. Checking the valves out, that sort of thing. Anyway, as you can see, radial brakes, gold nitrided forks, really massive fork tubes.
It's gonna be a monster to ride.
Beautiful bike, yeah. And if you notice, also, it's got the high bars, which is nice and comfortable.
Yep.
Really, just did a nice job with this bike all over. It's probably, out of all the bikes, have you ridden this one yet? Have you tried it?
No, I haven't. No.
It's the narrowest bike I've ever sat on.
Yeah,
like
it's
as far as
speedy,
if you notice the seat position, it is incredibly narrow, which is actually really comfortable. What you'll find is a really wide bike, spreading your hips out a bit, especially when you get a little older, makes it for a sore hip. This thing's comfortable as all heck. Trick little pieces, like this nice little carbon fiber, all this billet work. Definitely one of the other things I want to point out while I'm at it. Look at the machine work that they put in, Brian. Like just even the bolts and they're all machined out. You know, every little part is just. The downside is if one of these things vibrates out, that bolt's probably.
It's pretty expensive, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, a lot of attention to detail on these things.
And they do a great job on them. So anyway, let's move on. Enough about that one. That's definitely one of my favorites. Sorry to see it go. Over here, Angel is taking what's called the new GS1250, right, Angel? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, GS1250. A client bought this brand new and bought every imaginable part for it. So Angel's got about 2 days already into it, if not more. We've got the lights, we've got the crash cage, we've got just accents all over. It's called the Bumblebee because it looks like that. Does anybody call it the Bumblebee, or is that just like a, they actually called that the BMW?
No, that was
Option 419 or
I
something.
think they did it because of like some Camaro or something like that.
There you go. Oh, like
And
the
then
Transformer.
like some rapper.
Transformer. There you go.
Yeah.
So we got all types of weird information for you today.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's going together. Headlight guard, all the different bar levers. There's a bunch more parts over here. We still have aftermarket mirrors to put on it. We've got more lights to go on it. Our partner Vic has the exact same bike with pretty much the same lighting. He turns on those lights and it looks like an ambulance going down the road. It just lights up the whole place.
Yeah.
This is another SB8R, or RS I should say. We've been talking about that. That's the TLR powered Bimota. Over here, this is a supercharged H2. So this is the same motor that's in the Bimota Tessie2, H2 I should say. It's supercharged. It's on this one we're just doing a service work on it. We're doing the, what else are we doing?
Windshield, fender eliminator, we did tires.
That's it. So tires, windshield, fender eliminator, service work. This was scheduled to get worked on up in Northern California. The dealership didn't want to touch it for whatever reason.
They didn't want to scratch it.
What's that?
They didn't want to scratch
They
it.
want to scratch it, but part of the reason, if you see this blue tape a lot over the bikes, we do this blue tape everywhere. And the reason we do that is when you're taking off some of the edges of some of the sharp edge tanks, it doesn't scratch the frame or make any marks, and that's one of the reasons we go through so many rolls of that stuff.
I'm glad they get scared because they could bring it to us and we'll do it and make sure it doesn't get scratched.
Well, you know, in fact, this guy has 30 bikes and 30 horses thereabouts. His wife's in the horses, he's in the bikes. He sends all his bikes down here, and it's like a 5 hour, 6 hour voyage each way. So that's how much he likes to use an Iconic. This is the same owner. This is the little FZR600 we've been cleaning up. It was supposed to go on the auction site. He fell in love with it after seeing our pictures. Had us do a little bit of work to make it perfect. Ollie went and, where's the rear sets at, Daniel?
It's over here. I'm just
So
gonna
take a quick look at this. So Ollie, one of our mechanics, bought a vapor blaster. He took all the parts that were a little bit rusty, and now they look like brand new. So vapor blasting is fantastic. It only exposes the lowest level of the new material, so it looks like brand new all over again. The kickstand, we just went ahead and did the same thing, and then we painted that. So, and we'll clear coat this stuff too. It's important to note that when you do this media blasting, powder, or any of that sort of thing, clear coat it. Because if you don't, it'll be oxidized and rusted up in weeks. That's all we got. Thank you very much, Brian, and have a great weekend if I don't talk to you.